We're making crafts today on the farm and taking old parts of oak railings, cutting them into pieces. And my daughter is turning out basically horse brushes that she plans on either using as gifts or selling. We had to make a mark on the top with a chisel. We cut some elastic out to make it really nice. And then she got on the drill press and did some drilling. She's going to take one of these probably down to our county fair. She's going to make some of these that can be for gifts or practical use. They're really nice. What she's doing here is she's got that line that we chiseled in, and she's just going across and drilling it out with the drill to make a slot where we can stick in the elastic. And I'd say she cut probably about 12 inches of elastic. Here she's heating up a nail. She's going to get this nail red and hot, and she's going to take it and she's going to burn a hole right into that elastic. And then we're going to drill a sideways hole into the piece of oak, and that's going to allow us to put a peg through and hold the elastic in place. You'll be able to see it in a second. Now, we're using recycled oak railing. It's very, very inexpensive at the store because, again, it's a chunk of broken oak railing. What are they going to do with it? So you can buy this kind of material pretty cheap if you're willing to do it. You could make one of these out of a 2x4 practically. The only expense really is these hacksaw blades, and again, finding a piece of recycled lumber. And I would say out of a hacksaw blade, she probably could make 2 or 3 of these depending upon how she does it. She likes to put 2 hacksaw blades in hers. She feels it gets a better combing. So what she's doing here is taking the bolt cutter and she's cutting the end kind of straight the way she wants it. Takes a lot of force, but she gets through it. And then she's going to take that and stick it in the brush here and make a really nice brush. You know, when you're into the horse world, sometimes you got to have some fun with it. She's cutting the end at a little bit of an angle just to make it kind of cool the way it sits in. You don't have to do that part. It's just as long as you get it glued into the brush. So here it is. She's got it in. She's got a little slit that she cut in it with the circular saw. She's got her little nylon strap, and then what she's got here is a dowel rod, and she's cutting a piece of this dowel rod off so that she can put it in as a peg to hold the strap. So the strap will go into the brush, the dowel rod will go through at 90 degrees, we'll glue that in, hold it in place, we'll glue in the hacksaw blades, 2 of them together because she likes it that way. She feels she gets a better combing, and then she'll finish it up and make it into something nice. So really quite pleased with her thought process on this. We've had numerous store brushes. Most of them, bend or break. A lot of them are cheap China plastic, and we're just not been, happy with them. After a while they wear out. I made a brush like this not too many years back, maybe 3 or 4, for my bride, and she absolutely loved it. I mean, it's still in function today, and it's wood. It holds up. It doesn't crack like plastic. It doesn't get dull. And even if it does, you can take it out and put a new hacksaw blade in it the way these are designed. So see the hole here, she's got to get it to fit in there, and then that's going to fit in, and that's going to hold her hand strap on. So these will have a nice hand strap compared to the ones you can buy in the store. So all said and done, I'm out 2 hacksaw blades for about $7, a piece of elastic material, and $6 or $7 for the whole 4 feet of it at the store. And then I'm out a little bit of expense with a dowel rod and a used piece of oak wood. So I think the whole project's probably being built for less than $50, which is nice, and it's going to be really nice when she's done. She also wants to take her artistic skills and carve in it a bit. I'm fine with that. You don't have to, folks, but it just makes it kind of fun. And in that case, she can then make it more presentable at the fair. So this is what the components are: the piece of wood, the dowel rod, the hacksaw blade, and the strap. And then she goes to sanding. She's going to take all the pre-sprayed finish off it. She's going to make it look nice. She's going to make sure her hacksaw blade fits good, and then she's going to get it glued in here, and it'll really look good. Once she gets all the finish off from the pre-made stuff, then she can finish it uniformly after she's carved it up and stuff, which is really what she wants to do. Now, to bond this in there, you can certainly just use a wood glue. It is actually strong enough if you use like a tight bond wood glue. but I'm going to have her do this one with two-part epoxy because I really want it to last for her. And the stuff is nice and strong, and I like it, especially when you're torquing on it when you're using the brush on the horses, which is what she's probably going to use it on more so than the goats. So she's getting herself here some plastic. She's getting things kind of ready here, and she's going to mix some two-part epoxy and get this in there, which is great, and it should work out really well for her. The time it took to do this was just a couple hours in the afternoon to get to this point, right here where it's all sanded and stuff. So cutting it off, drilling the hole, putting the slit in it, cutting the hacksaw, and cutting the dowel rod and sticking it in there, and then sanding it for about an hour. She's probably got a couple hours of time in it. We decided because this one is going to be on display, we'll make a little display for it. So we took another piece of oak, drilled a hole in it, took the rest of the dowel rod, and we're going to put it in it and put a little hook on it so that we can hang it. That's our game plan, at least. So she's putting together a little stand for this one. Certainly wouldn't recommend a stand otherwise. This will benefit her in 4-H as far as displaying it and so forth. And she really likes working with wood. So again, she's getting everything stripped and finished. You can kind of see how it comes together. Now she's going to start the artistic side of this, which is, cool, but again, you don't have to. My daughter just seems to have a real talent, this particular daughter, Anna, for carving in wood, and she really likes that. So I'm going to let her go to town on it and see if she can make this thing even more pretty. We're going to come back and put a red oak stain on it to kind of make it pop. And then, we'll probably put some type of, urethane on it. I think urethane does the best, probably spar urethane, so it's really good for indoor, outdoor. See here, she's got her little Dremel tool, and she's just working a design that she's got on a piece of paper. So she's taking this piece of paper, and she's working a design on it. I think the words here she's putting on it are forever blessed. She likes that phrase because, myself, I helped her with it, and she thinks that's a good blessing for her, and I'm appreciative. So she's going to take her time, probably about another hour to carve this out. So now we're about probably 3 hours into the project, but this is what's going to make it really pretty. This is what's going to make it shine. Now when I put my stain over this, I'm worried that it's not going to be real visible. So I think her game plan is before I put the spar urethane on, she's going to paint it up, which is good. Oh yeah, it's really coming to life. So you can see she tried to kind of pen it on first, just freehand, and now she's just working that Dremel to make it the way she wants, get that kind of horse head to pop right in between her words. It just takes time, folks. It just takes time. And she just kind of shifts the block to get it to where she wants. And there it is. There's the finished Dremeling on it, so to speak. And she's got kind of like a pen Dremel, which she really likes. I've got a bigger Dremel, but it's too awkward and bulky. It says Forever Blessed, and it's got a nice horse in it, and you can see the blades in it. So at this point, it's time to get it stained, time to get dirty. So that's what she's doing here. We're using a Minwax, red oak, just really kind of darken it up, make it pretty. It's a real heavy stain, which is good. It dries pretty fast. It's easy for her to work with. It's just basically wipe it on, wipe it off. Now you could use a stain varnish combo if you wanted on this to speed it up. But again, I'm kind of old school and I want this to really hold up for her, so I'm going to use that, probably Hellsman's spar urethane on it here in a minute. It's all done there. Yeah, it's really coming to life. Pretty. She's going to do inside the words too. It just takes her a little bit. Gosh, it's nice. It's nice when people take pride and get their stuff done well. So here it is drying. All the different components there. So the next step at this point, she's going to decorate this a little bit more, and then we'll get the urethane on it. So there it is. We cut the dowel rod off. We got it in it. Straps now permanently on it. That's awesome. Now you can't lose it. You put your hand through it, you won't drop it so easy. All right, she's got it all painted up here. Just taking a fine acrylic paint and painting it into her letters. Much more detailed than I would do. But again, it's really nice. Just looks really cool. And again, you can only put so much paint in on your brush at a time, or you get it on the top part. Gosh, it looks really good. You see, she's just finishing that tail of that D there. Just takes time, kind of finesse to get it into those letters, but it's really going to make it pop when we're done. And because I'm going to spray this with a urethane, it'll kind of look old school lettering when it dries. Great. These are the kind of brushes you make, and they'll last decades, if not centuries, if you take care of them. All right, now she's taping it up so we can get it sprayed. We certainly don't want to get spray on the handle. Certainly don't want to get it on the blade either, because you want to keep the blades nice and sharp. All right, there it is. Let's get it sprayed up. I found that the easiest way to do this is really light coats and steel wool in between, like a 4-0 steel wool, 4-aught or whatever they call that, and then do it again, and then let it dry, steel wool it and do it again. 3 coats seems to really make this thing kind of pop. So here we are. Anna's got it done. She's getting it untaped. She made a little board next to it so she can display it for future need. It really kind of emphasizes what it is. To some people, they wouldn't understand that this is a brush that's used to comb goats and horses and even cattle. Anything after you've clipped it and you want to get that fine hair out of it, these kind of brushes are ideal. You get done with shaving, you let it grow back a day or two. Sure, you can, go through it with any type of regular fine comb if you want. But these really do a good job. And right before your show, you sometimes have some shed out. Again, taking these over the smooth coats gets rid of that extra little hair, which is fantastic. So here she's just going to get that off the blade, and then we'll get a final shot here of it. Again, a lot of the people that make these make them with a single blade. We have 2 blades in it, and they're offset a little bit, and they're different directions, so she can, either way she combs it, it really takes the fur out nicely. Here it is. Oh, it's pretty. See if I can get a shot here over the top of it. Very, very nice. All right, let's hang this up, and we'll take a final shot. Really appreciate you folks following along. It's been a fun project, and hopefully we'll be making more of these and using these forever. The shedding brush for horses, folks. De-shedding brush, really. Thanks for watching.